Justice with Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law. You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Ashley Jacobs is suing her soon-to-be ex-husband Rob Jacobs in the amount of $3,500. Ms. Jacobs claims Mr. Jacobs is responsible for her losing 30% of her social media followers. Mr. Jacobs claims the plaintiff was mentally abusive to him. Therefore, he feels he doesn't owe her a dime.
All rise. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Thank you. You may be seated. This is the matter of Ashley Jacobs versus Rob Jacobs. And I understand that you're ex-husband and wife?
Not yet.
We're
Not yet.
soon to be.
Oh, soon to be.
Yeah, in the process.
But you're in the process of that old divorce. And you're suing him because you're alleging that he's defamed you on social media, and therefore you're losing income.
Yes, I am suing him for $3,500 for defamation of character and slander via social media. It's a loss of income for me. I get paid. I am a lingerie model, and I have lost followers on social media because of his defamation and slander on social media on his behalf.
What has he said that's caused you to lose followers?
I actually have evidence here that, on social media. This is my evidence. I get 10 cents per follower on social media. It's part of my income, which is where the $3,500 is coming from. He's said inappropriate things, as you can see in ink.
I don't know if it's inappropriate or not. I asked you. Why I got to read it? Tell me what he said.
All right, sure. He said lovely things about me, that I'm hot, but I'm bad in bed. And I don't know if that's his performance-enhancing drugs failing him or not, but believe me, I am not bad in bed, and no one needs to know anything about my history in sexual relationships.
You said he defamed you and slandered you.
Yeah, so because of these...
What else has he said?
Talking about me, talking about my character, that I'm using him, that I'm a gold digger. I'm using him for his name, that I'm only where I'm at in my career because of him. These are all inappropriate statements and untrue. I have merit on my own. I was a model before meeting him, and he is giving himself 100% credit for the success of my career.
No one else is posting except him?
Not consistently like him. And he's my supposedly husband in love with me, saying inappropriate things like this.
Well, I'm going to determine whether it's defamatory, because the issue is not inappropriate, the issue is defamatory. Ashley is horrible in bed and has been with too many men to count. And then you respond in your lingerie modeling outfit. Please don't believe my a-hole, I'm not a slut. Please retreat if you're following me. Oh my God, my ex is the worst. I swear I was faithful. If you're still following me, retreat. So you've shown me one thing that he said, that you're horrible in bed.
But you can see on there, and it's highlighted, that my followers, the ones who did retweet, went from 100,000 to 65,000. So that's income right there.
All right, talk to me, Mr. Jacobs.
Your Honor, first of all, thank you for even hearing this case. I wish we didn't have to do it.
You got a little sore throat?
No, this is my voice.
Oh, that's your voice.
Surprise.
Oh, okay.
We've been married almost 5 years. I've given her the best life since I've known her. She's living in a beautiful house. She eats the finest food. She wears the finest clothes. We go to the finest establishments all the time. I'm giving Ashley, or I was giving Ashley, the life that I thought she deserved. She, in turn, as well, has done, let's just say, not so nice things on social media. She's got on my page and talked to some of my friends and
Your Honor,
said,
he has no evidence of that.
said
You know
basically,
what? Wait. Why did you jump into what he was saying so quickly?
I apologize.
Oh, I
I
mean,
do.
you really defended yourself real quickly on that, huh?
Your Honor, I do have evidence.
Uh-oh. Maybe she hasn't seen it.
She got on my page and wrote some.
Let her see it first because she said he had no evidence.
Yeah, take a look at
I haven't
that.
seen it.
That would be you in one of your little outfits. And Your Honor, if I could,
There's no outfit
in
portrayed.
social media, and I do a lot of social media in the record industry that I'm in social media, they have these things called spam bots. Spam bots will put basically fake people on your page.
But how am I supposed to know whether it's fake or real?
How do you know that it was whatever I quote unquote posted on her page that lost her those 40,000?
I mean, is that your defense? It's spam box that she didn't have 100,000 followers? How do you tell me that she didn't have 100,000?
I'm saying that what I said didn't lose her 100,000,
Oh,
lose
okay.
her listeners, or her viewers. I think the pictures that she posted of herself being very provocative and being kind of...
That's my job.
For lack of a better... Not being dirty, though. For lack of a better term, some of the dirty pictures might have lost some respect from some of her people.
Well, this says it's Ashley. She's on your page.
She got on my page.
And sent a...
Derogatory messages
She
to my
sent something
friends.
to a guy named Rick. We won't call his last name. Hi, it's Ashley, Rob's soon-to-be ex-wife. I wanted you to know that I always wanted to.
Yes.
The word beginning with an F. That means
Exactly.
sexual intercourse.
Exactly.
And your friend.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I love him.
So, like Tina Turner say, what's love got to do with it?
And later,
You were buzzed and he was drunk.
Correct. It was
you
a
let
poor.
him drive.
Correct. It was a poor decision on my part. I am fully aware of that.
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Ashley Jacobs, who is suing Rob Jacobs for $3,500.
Did you post this?
No. And
He just made it up?
Well, I know I didn't. I don't know if he is doing this to get back at me of some sort.
First of all, you have more than one person posting. You have numerous people posting. You got 100,000 followers, right?
Right.
Of 100,000 followers, how do I know that this one post from your husband dropped your stuff down to 65,000?
It has to do with the timing and the fact that he's
not the only one posting in all that time.
Whether my supposedly in love with me partner in life posted it
All he said
himself.
was you're horrible in bed. Why does that drop your following? A lot of women and men say their spouses are horrible in bed. And you know what? Here's the other issue I have with a defamation claim. How do I prove that's not true? You have to prove to me that it's not true.
It's
That
true.
defamation is he made a statement about me that's not true and it damaged my character. That statement alone damaged my character. You're horrible in bed is an opinion. And anytime you're talking about sexual behavior, it's an opinion. So how is that negative or positive? That's what he thinks. You could probably get a number of other men to post that you're great in bed. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Oh, okay.
I just-
You just don't like it.
No.
No, I know. But unfortunately, I'm bound by the
He's saying
law.
things about me that
Okay,
are
so I
just-
can say to him, Mr. Jacobs, please stop posting comments about your wife. As likewise, I can say to you, because he's alleging that you're posting comments about him and going after his friends. That's rude too. If you're saying to his friend, I want to...
love him though.
What?
I love him. That's why this is
So,
so
like
hard.
Tina Turner say, what's love got to do with it?
Because to mention the conversations with his friends is...
You're not going to stop people from saying things like that. That's a typical statement from husbands and wives and men and women when they get upset with each other. When they're in love with you, you're the best thing since apple pie. When they hate you, you stink like garbage. That's life. And if your friends or your followers going to leave you because your husband say you're horrible in bed, your following is not about you being good in bed or not. It's about being a lingerie model. Has nothing to do with you being good in bed. It has to do with you looking good in that lingerie. Right? He didn't say you didn't look good in that lingerie. He didn't say you were ugly. He didn't say, you know, you had a whole lot of cellulite that you're hiding. He didn't say that the pictures are false, that that's not really you. That affects people looking at a lingerie model. Understand what I'm saying? All right, judgment for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
If you really loved me, you wouldn't have defamed me and risked my career.
Ashley, you chose modeling. Now roll with it.
Coming up.
Every week I'd asked for maybe $5 to $10, ignored my phone calls, ignored my texts, and then I showed up at his job. He wouldn't see me. He would dodge me if he did see me.
Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Anna DeLynn is suing Derek Zachary in the amount of $1,080. Ms. DeLynn claims Mr. Zachary wrecked her car. Mr. Zachary admits he did wreck the plaintiff's car, but claims it was an accident.
Thank you. You may be seated. In the matter of Anna DeLynn versus Derek Zachary, you're suing him for $1,080 for damages caused to your car?
Correct.
All right, tell me about it.
I'm 23 years old. I moved here about 3 years ago. I'm a full-time nanny, work 60 hours a week. I met Derek at a kickball tournament. We play on the same team now. Anyways, we like to go out every once in a while. We have a good time, you know, party up with our friends. Anyways, a while back, we decided to go out to a party. Afterwards, Derek asked me on my way out whether I could drive him home. He's about 5 to 7 minutes away from the party, so I said, of course. On our way out, he grabbed my keys from my hand, which I was reaching to from my purse. He grabs them and he starts dangling them around. We get into about a 10-minute argument where he proceeds to eventually open the driver's side door, sit down and say he's driving and refuses to let me drive. At this point, I mean, we'd all been drinking. I was buzzed, but he was drunk. I didn't want to continue arguing, so I let him drive my car.
You were buzzed and he was drunk.
Correct.
Let him drive.
Correct. It was a poor decision on my part. I am fully aware of that. Anyways, I let him drive. It was a smooth drive, the 5 minutes to get to his house. And as we are getting there, he whips his car into his driveway and smashes.
His car or your car?
My car. And smashes the entire passenger side. I said we'd deal with it in the morning. So I call him up the next morning. And on my way home, the car was shaky driving. I realized in the morning that my tire had also popped. So I drive home on a flat tire. You know, the alignment is now off. And I call him in the morning. We end up meeting up. And I say, will you pay for my tire? He says no urgently. So we take some time. We're out for coffee. And I say, you know what? Listen, I will give you the time to pay me back. I understand that we are both working, every week I'd asked for maybe $5 to $10, ignored my phone calls, ignored my texts. And then I showed up at his job. He wouldn't see me. He would dodge me if he did see me. So that is why I'm here today, because he owes me $1,080.
You mean she gave you an opportunity to pay her back if it took a day or a year and you dodged her, Mr. Zachary?
Well, time passed and I understood that. We talked later, and I understood that she said it's all right not to pay.
Okay, let me just get to the chase. Did you hit the car?
I hit the car.
Were you the driver of the car?
I was driving a car.
Caused damage to the passenger side?
Yes, I did.
Were you intoxicated?
A lot less than her.
Coming up.
And you were buzzed, she was drunk. Okay, that's why you drove her home, because you were less intoxicated, but you drove her to your house. Then you were going to let this drunk woman drive on home? And you were less intoxicated? And she's your friend?
Exactly. See, he wasn't...
Be quiet.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Anna DeLynn, who is suing Derek Zachary for property damage.
Okay, you were buzzed, she was drunk. Okay, that's why you drove her home, because you were less intoxicated, but you drove her to your house. Then you were going to let this drunk woman drive on home? And you were less intoxicated? And she's your friend?
Exactly. See, he wasn't...
Be quiet.
She's my friend. I still consider her a friend. We just need to settle it down.
So she told you about the deductible?
Yeah, she told me about the deductible.
Now let me hear your defense for not paying.
I said, I'm going to pay at that point, but I just said that to get rid of her at that point because I had so much going on. And I had so many big bills to catch up, and I thought, I'm going to sort it out later.
So you just said it to get her off your back?
Yeah, pretty much. And then, like, later on, I called her, we had a chat, and she said, like, it's all right not to pay.
Why would she say that?
Well, that's what I understood. That's how I took it.
Is that what you wanted to understand? Or is that what you really understood?
No, this is what I really understood.
Well, but she had told you to pay it before, right? She had asked you to pay it.
Yeah, she told me to pay it.
And you agreed to pay it.
I agreed to pay it, but I said, as I said, like, it's just only to get her off my back.
But you didn't really mean it when you said it.
No.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you talked again, it's your statement that she said, it's okay, forget it. You don't have to pay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
But she had told you to pay it before, right? She had asked you to pay it.
Yeah, she told me to pay it.
And you agreed to pay it.
I agreed to pay it, but I said, as I said, like, it's just only to get her off my back.
But you didn't really mean it when you said it.
No.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you talked again, it's your statement that she said, it's okay, forget it. You don't have to pay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, what did you do in between the two conversations to change your mind?
I'm working the bar. I'm working paycheck to paycheck. I'm really behind on my bills.
Is that her problem or yours?
It is my problem, yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
correct.
You haven't figured out a way to pay her. She said you should give you up to a year. She said she gave you a job, asked for $5.
I'm taking her out a lot. We're paying for meals, you know, like paying for drinks, and this is fine, but this kind of money,
Wait
I mean,
a minute
cannot
now.
pay
You're
that.
saying since you hit her car and it's $1,080 the damages that she's asking for, you've been taking her out, buying her drinks and buying her meals and socializing with her, but not paying for the car?
Not the case, Your Honor.
Well, why does he say that?
Before the accident, he had taken me out on certain occasions. After the game, we would go and get a pitcher of beer. He would pay for it. It was very kind of him, very gentlemanlike. However,
So he said, now that I've wined and dined you and I paid for the beer and I paid for the meals in the past when you didn't have money or when we were out together, why don't you just chalk this up as even?
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, kind of. She's alive. That's one thing. If she would drive, you never know where she would end up.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Neither one of you should have been driving. She just should have called a cab, left the car parked, or either walked home. So because you assumed that risk and because you were both in the same shape, DUI, I'm going to order him to pay half and just make it equal, all right? So you pay $500, judgment for the plaintiff, in the amount of $540. That's the order of the court.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $540.
I shouldn't have to pay half. It's your car, your deductible.
if you hadn't have taken my car keys, my car wouldn't be damaged. Now you have to pay.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studio.